so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. Don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater gets off. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining. I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Come on, set. 60 out long. Sure, 55. Come on. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Good job, D.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Here I come. Go. You got motion man. You got motion man right there. Mike, 55. Right there.
Jackson now. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, it was Duke Ejiofor.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually we between run and pass, but in this case was strictly the run game. You can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. But I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Set. 19. Up to the line. Down and go. Check, check. Fresno. 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 Check. Up to the core. Hot, hot. Down and go. Down and go.
Watson on first down. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
59, 59. Go, go.
They give to Johnson going right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Set. 19. 58. The mic. Watch QB draw. Watch QB. 54. 58 the mic. Go 58 the mic. Here we go. 4. Here we go. And go.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set. 19. Alert. Check, 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 check.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
19. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's get it together.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. He completes this one to Mack. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
First down.
Watch the safety creep.
Now a first down carry by Jones. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. Big
Calhoun on the tackle. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 32-yard line.
Ready? Right.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Farmer. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Heavy on the edges. Mike, 55. Check. 55.
Throwing is Jackson. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Jones. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He's coming. We got double up. 54. 58, right over there. Yeah. Right there.
On 2nd and 9, Watson flushed out right. This is taken in. It's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run it with Johnson. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
It's now 3rd down and 3.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
I'm coming after you. 58, 58, it's Mike. Here we go.
Watson on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll buy some time right. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Johnson. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Hey, 31.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Check out.
Let's go.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Joker. 54 is down. He's coming. 54.
From the red zone now, Watson. And he is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have retaken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Jackson. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And his throw here's incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Alert! Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go. Out, here we go. Time to go.
To throw is Watson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
At the 7-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Showing that. Showing that.
SOS.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Set. 19. 26.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Hatch it. Hatch it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
56.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the pass.
Watson just beating the play clock. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, Jackson. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Let's go.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go now. 41's coming. 41's the mic. You gonna see me in your
On second down, it's Mack. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Here we go. Get the flag. Pick up the ball.
Mike,
From the gun, Jackson escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Set, ready. Hey, over.
Hey, 4-1's Mike, 4-1's Mike.
From the 36, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Being chased out left. Going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Running from the gun, Johnson. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Where's the set? 19. Hey, 59. Check 3, check 3. Now let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Banagoo with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Their own 32-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And here we are, almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on the gain of 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ready. 41's the mark. Check 41. I got one.
On first down, Mack. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
The tackle made by Whitney Merciless. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd.
So the scoring dried up here in the third. Nothing that quarter for either side. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Staying on the ground with Mack. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Colts on third down. Can't be any better than a perfect 6 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
37-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
The Colts on third down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is 3rd and 7.
Check 43.
On third down, a run by Matt. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
A gain of 2 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 14.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson. Flushed out right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, Jackson. Short little throw to Ebron. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Out of the gun, here's a give to Matt. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Jackson to throw. Flush to it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Watson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Jackson back into his end zone. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
First down, Indianapolis.
Throwing now is Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
At the 46-yard line.
Bring it. Out.
Down to an E goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So with that, need 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Houston, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.